A web of secrecy could make it nearly impossible to identify a plane's real owner and whether the plane is even still in operation. The Boston Globe Spotlight Fellows spent a year investigating a system that the paper says can be exploited by drug dealers or corrupt international politicians. The team reports it even found people with links to terrorism who appear to hold active FAA licenses to fly or repair the planes. Chris Van Cleave spoke to the reporters who broke this story. He's at Reagan National Airport, that's right outside Washington, D.C. Of course, Chris, good morning.
Good morning. The stories are out in the Boston Globe today, and what they found really raises some questions about how the FAA handles information regarding airplanes and who flies them. 1 in 6 private aircraft in the United States are registered through means, though legal, make it very hard, even for law enforcement, to determine who owns an airplane. It's a system the Boston Globe Spotlight team found is appealing to bad actors, like drug runners flying this American-registered plane shot down by the Venezuelan Air Force.
People can use layers of secrecy to register their aircraft, and those layers of secrecy are really attractive to drug dealers, criminals, corrupt politicians, and people with potential ties to terrorism.
Jamie Dowdle and Kelly Carr are the Spotlight Fellows who reported the story.
It helps them hide, conceal their activities, and they have, when they register their airplane with the U.S. flag, it's like getting the U.S. stamp of approval.
What they found was an antiquated system less secure than getting your driver's license.
You have to have a bill of sale, and the bill of sale simply says, Kelly sold the plane to Jamie, and then you have to fill out the form, and that's about it.
Because you go to the DMV, it's a birth certificate, a passport, a power bill.
Utility bill.
Right.
The cost of registering an airplane is just $5, a price the FAA says was mandated by Congress back in 1964.
The FAA doesn't see itself as an active policeman of the registry, so when information comes in, they make sure information is there, but they don't vet the information. So they're really operating on the honor system of people who are registering aircrafts and also on pilots' licenses to say, this is who I am a U.S. citizen, you know, I live here. But if somebody has bad intentions and wants to lie or has ill intent for the use of that license or, you know, certification of a plane, they can lie, and the FAA says that they're not going to vet, they're not checking.
The FAA acknowledges it does not vet its records because it does not have the resources to determine the accuracy of information submitted for registration. The Globe found 2 of the planes used in the 9/11 attacks were still listed as active until 2005. And the FAA didn't cancel the registration of a TWA cargo plane that crashed in Chicago in 1959 until 57 years later.
If those aren't being caught, imagine what else is slipping through the cracks.
Like 2 United Airlines pilots who were convicted of trying to fly an airliner drunk. As of September 1st, they still had valid pilot's licenses, although the FAA says they wouldn't be able to fly because they lack a current medical certificate. Or 5 people the Globe identified with potential ties to terror who were listed as having active FAA licenses. As recently as August, airplane mechanic Tyrod Nathan Webster Pugh, currently serving 35 years for trying to aid ISIS, showed up in the FAA registry as a valid license holder. The FAA says despite what the database showed, his license was revoked in 2015. You can find the story online at globe.com/secrets in the sky. The FAA told us in a statement it has a team that investigates fraudulent aircraft registrations and says it is constantly working to strengthen the integrity of registry information. The agency is developing a plan to significantly upgrade and modernize the aircraft registration process.
Chris, thanks.